All right, we're going to share ourselves out, and then we are going to get into some really important stuff. Hold on one second. Why am I not seeing myself? Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, I'm going to turn that down. Okay. Hang on just a second. And let me get into sharing us out so that we can have a great time. Hello. If you are here, do not go anywhere. We are having an awesome day today, and I'm about to put my glasses back on, which is great, but I couldn't see, so here we go. Hello, I love this. This is going to be amazing today. Do not go anywhere. Hit share. We're talking about the most important thing in the world, which is your relationship to yourself. We're going to share this out one more time, okay? And then we are going to get started, so don't go anywhere. My sunglasses are coming back on, but I can't see as I share us. So finish enjoying this. Whoop, whoop. All right, here we go. You quietly passed me by. Whoa. There we go, people. All right, here we go. Okay, so let me just make sure we're shared out in one more really, really important spot. Hey, Alexis. Hey, Heather. All right, I'm going to shut down our music, even though I don't want to because I love the music and it gets me all jazzed up and excited. All right, here we go. People. Here we go. Welcome to TGIM with your host, Slash, from Guns N' Roses. For those of you that aren't fully aware of who I am, and yes, this is my real hair. We went to a Halloween party this weekend, and my hair was getting tugged on, because people were like, was that your real hair? Is that your real hair? Yes, it is! So, it's Halloween tomorrow, so happy Halloween! Happy Halloween! I'm super excited to be here with you guys today. It's Monday, it's in South Florida, the weather is glorious, okay? So for all of my fellow South Floridians, right? I mean, is this not heaven or what? It is glorious. Get yourself outside, get into nature, put on your boots, because it might be 100 degrees tomorrow. And we're going to have a super fun TGIM today. It's been a couple weeks since we were able to be live together. So we're here, and I'm really excited about it. So what I really want you to do is hit share when something resonates, and today's show is juicy, so tons of it is going to resonate with you, because we're here to raise the consciousness of the world. We are here to change our lives. We're here to live lighter and happier and better and more peaceful. And the way that happens is by looking inside yourself, all right? So our comments are coming in. Let me just check something. I have to take these off to see that. Our comments are coming in on here, which is awesome because then it's even easier for me to correspond with you. I will take my glasses off at some point too so you can see my eyes. But how fun is this Halloween costume, right? Right? Something we always talk about, guys, is playfulness and fun and levity and not taking everything so damn seriously, right? Right? So, I mean, Halloween's one way that, society gives us this little quick opportunity, but what can you do in your day to just lighten up the intensity and experience more happiness and flow? Because at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to get. Right? That's why you're so hard on yourself. That's why you're setting all your goals. That's why you're working so hard. So what if you just shifted that paradigm and realized you could just be happy now, like right now, without waiting for the when, if, then, or the next thing you achieve, or what happens with your husband or your wife or your kids, right? Just in you, okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to take these off so that I can speak to you and teach you a little bit. Hi, it really is me. I know you guys thought it was Slash, but it's really me. And I'll put these back on later. So we are going to dive into something that is critically important. And here's kind of how I arrived in this space, okay? And if you guys wouldn't mind, I want to make sure the comments are continuously coming in on my phone. If you could just give me a hey or a hello or a thumbs or something, that would be huge because then I'll be able to know and I don't want to miss any of your comments and questions. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. All right, sorry for the delay, but I really want to make sure. Okay, so I'm Tracy. Thank you. I see the thumbs. Great. Okay, cool. Hey, all right. Thank you guys. Okay, so for those of you that are just joining, I'm not really Slash, and I don't usually look like this, although when there's some sort of holiday or something to celebrate, I'm going to do it because I don't want to have regrets in my life, right? And I want to have a good time. That's why I'm here. Hey, April. Hey, Heather. Hey, Christian. So I'm Tracy, by the way. I am a certified coach. I'm a speaker. I'm a founder of The Lit Factor, which is a personal growth and coaching company. And it's my mission to wake up and help you wake up and help you kind of peel back the layers of gunk that have covered you through the years and figure out who are you and what do you want and what's true for you and who do you want to become so that when you reach the end, which we all are, let's not gloss over the truth, the way that life ends is in death, and that day is going to come, and you're going to look back, and you're either going to go, shit, I did it wrong, or you're going to be like, I have no regrets, okay? It's just one or the other. There really is no gray. So my main mission is to help you keep that as drive, right? And really start to align yourself and enjoy yourself however that is defined by you, because everybody is different, all right? And everybody's version of success is different and fulfillment is different and what brings you joy is different. And it's awesome as long as it serves you. So during our TGIM and our time together, this isn't about me telling you what you need to do. This is about me creating insight for you, saying things or asking things that are going to help you kind of open your mind up a little bit to maybe places that you're stuck or ways that you can help unblock yourself, all right? And today we're going into something that is going to become the thread of everything. Because now that it has been quite a while and I've been doing this work for myself and for my clients, whether my younger clients all the way up into my, older clients, and whether they are business owners or professionals or stay-at-home moms, it doesn't matter. But here is the foundational place that we all need to get to. And that is the acknowledgement. Hey, David from Boca. That is the acknowledgement that the most important relationship in your life is the one you have with yourself. That is the acknowledgement that loving yourself, honoring yourself, accepting yourself, and believing in yourself is the cure, the magic pill, the answer, whatever you want to put to it. Okay? Because out of everything, hey Shannon, out of everything in your life, right? It comes from you. So everything grows out of you. So whether it's you're looking for confidence, right? You're looking for boundaries. You want to learn how to prioritize yourself. You want to go after your dreams. You want to make sure you have the relationships that you desire in life, right? You want to do all these things. All of it stems from your esteem, right? Your esteem, your love for yourself, your belief in yourself, your understanding that you're deserving and worthy because you're you. It really, really does begin there. So let's just play with this for a second before we go into some really great teachings and things. And by the way, I coach live. That's why this is live, right? So this is not a recorded video. This is me hanging out with you. And the reason why I love when I can see what you're typing is because I want to coach you and I want to help you. So when I say something, if you're like, oh my God, I need this so badly, but I don't think this, right? Or, oh, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or you need some coaching, type to me. And then I'll coach you and we'll talk about it and I'll help you have shifts. That's why I'm here. It's why I spend this time hanging out. I am not here for me. I am here for you. So if you are hanging out with me, get the most out of it and listen and be open to the fact that this single conversation could change your life if you allow it to, and then participate because then you'll get the most out of it. All right? All right, so let's bring up confidence for a second, because confidence is something that a lot of people come to me for. How do I be more confident? How to be more confident, right? Or even how do I set boundaries? It's not necessarily, and this is kind of what I've learned and grown into over these couple of years. It's not because I need to give you, some big toolbox to become more confident, right? It's going deeper and understanding, okay, so what's going on that you don't feel confident? Hey, Nikhil, I'm so glad it helps you. Okay. All right, cool, Stephanie. Hang out. Here we go. In tears. All right, girl. Anytime something resonates with you guys, either you become emotional or you feel it in your body somewhere, it means you're like right there. You're ripe for an opening. So just be with me. And I love this. Okay. So let's go back. So it's confidence, right? When you think about it, what are the real underlying reasons that cause you concern over your ability to be confident, right? It's because you're concerned about you might not perform well and what will people think, right? If you don't do that thing well, then what will others' opinions of you be? Right? So it's not necessarily like the confidence thing. And I know this is a little bit of a deeper concept. And yes, there are tools that we can use towards confidence. But the point is we need to go deeper to understand how you get to a space where your esteem is so solid and your relationship to yourself is so fucking phenomenal that you are actually untouchable. Okay? You're untouchable. So you're able to step out into things where you want more confidence because you know the result of it or whatever is on the other side can't touch you because you know you're enough and you know you're awesome. And this doesn't mean that you don't still strive and learn and grow. That's the fun of life, because if you're not growing, you're dying. What it means is your esteem and love for yourself becomes the thing that allows you to go do those things that you think you need confidence for. Does that make sense? Give me a yay, a nay, I don't get you, whatever you're feeling, so that I can really, really drill this down, all right? So the basis of everything is your relationship to you. It is your belief in you. It's how you honor you. It is your esteem, right? Your esteem is your belief in how valuable you are. Your confidence is your belief in how well you can perform. Right? It's really not a thing that's about you, but you make it about you because your esteem isn't there. Your love for yourself isn't there yet in a solid enough way. So you look for the validation and the approval that's going to come in from the outside world to say, yep, you're awesome. But the thing about it is that you can get to your own awesomeness and validation and approval without anything or anyone outside of you. It's pretty amazing, right? And that's the ultimate goal, right? All right, Cindy says, so I don't need to feel guilty. I'm glad this is making sense. Absolutely, you don't need to feel guilty, but can you tell me a little bit more about where that's coming from? Guilt is absolutely a choice. Guilt is the way that we punish ourselves when we don't feel like we're doing something that we should be doing or we don't do something right. Okay, so tell me more about that question. Nikhil, you mean we should do what we are afraid to do? Okay, yes. This is a little bit off, but I'm going to answer because it's important. Yes, anything that's on the other side of fear is your growth. It's your growth, right? I think back to the first time I did a Facebook Live, okay? And I practice self-love a lot, and I work on myself a lot. And that first Facebook Live was like, oh my God, right? I was like a little paralyzed and a little nervous, right? And fear was all up in my business, okay? But I do this work, so I know how to fall in love with fear, and I used fear as a power with me instead of like, the way I teach it is fear isn't across the table from you. Fear's sitting on your lap, and you're going to use that energy for good, and you're going to go towards what you want, right? So yes, anytime, not danger, fear, there's a distinction, right? Whatever you feel nervous to do, apprehensive to do, you're afraid of success, of failure, all that stuff. Yes, go do it. Go do it. And the evidence is going to show you how amazing you are. So great question. All right, so this is making sense. So let's really kind of talk about, when I say again, love yourself. When you love yourself, you're able to say no. When you love yourself, you're not judging yourself. When you love yourself, you prioritize yourself. Okay? I'm going to stop on this one for a minute because this is a topic we all need. I put out a video the other day talking about self-prioritization, right? And this whole thing, especially for women, where we put ourselves last on the totem pole. We take the scraps instead of prioritizing and saying, no, this is not negotiable. And in order for me to be who I need to be in my life and show up for my work, my business, my kids, my spouse, my family, my friends, I'm going to put me first, right? This also comes when your esteem is solid and your love for yourself is there, right? Okay. Artemis, thank you. That's really hard for me. Tell me what makes it hard for you. And I'm going to invite you to stop saying that. Because anytime, guys, I want you to also realize this, and this is also part, all of this is part of loving yourself, okay? When you love yourself, you're responsible for your life too. And when you're responsible for your life, you're living your life based on choice. And you learn certain things, and you know that your thoughts are things. And you know you're in control of your meanings, and you know you're in control of your focus. So the reason I'm sharing that is because Artemis just said that's really hard for me. So here's something I'm going to tell you. And Artemis, we hang out a lot because you're always here when I'm here, and I love it. If you think it's really hard for you, it will be really hard for you. So we have to also realize these things we do to ourselves, right? So that's really hard for me is only going to give the directive to your brain of, that's really hard for me, thus making it really hard for you. Does that make sense? That makes sense? Okay. And yeah, that's a simple concept. It's true. And that's how it works, right? That the little engine that could, the reason he could was because he stopped saying, I think I can't, and he started saying, I think I can. Right? So Artemis, yes, absolutely great. So now you're going to stop saying that. But now tell me, what do you believe is making it really hard for you to make you important? And yes, it all drills down to the topic of today's session, which is loving yourself. Loving yourself. Okay? All right, Cindy, you nailed it. Thank you. I want to self-love, but feel guilty for doing so. So many people depend on me. Mom, dad, kids, spouse. Oh my God, Cindy, I love you, and I'm not saying this at you, but holy bullshit, everybody. Okay? I will not stop this mission until all of you know that this warped cultural, societal upraising, this dripping of our great-grandmothers into our grandmothers, into our mothers, that positioned us evolutionarily to believe that putting ourselves on top of the list is selfish is such bullshit that it drives me mad. It's maddening. Okay? Because here's the reality of the situation, Cindy, and I love you for saying that honesty. The reality is that how are you able to show up with sustained energy and love and openness and peace and patience with all of those people who you're so lucky to have in your life if you don't care for yourself? Why are you any less important than them? You're not, right? Why is it that when we get on an airplane, the airplane advises you to put your oxygen mask on first before everybody else? Because you will die helping somebody if you don't put it on yourself first, right? Right? Okay, and so Cindy, I really want you to respond to me here, okay? As Stephanie, from years of failure, abuse and everything, I've been told it's so hard to not beat myself up, and I'm learning to love me for me, not look in the mirror and pick every little thing out. Yes, we're going to talk about self-compassion today. Yes, we are. Okay. And Jackie, sounds selfish to me. Okay, Jackie, I appreciate that. And if anyone's having resistance to this, that's totally normal, okay, because I'm kind of waking you up here. And if this feels selfish to you, that's okay. This is a new concept. What I want to invite you to look at it as is healthy selfish. Okay? It's not selfish. It's healthy selfish. And also, if you're feeling like it's selfish, reflect back on your life and kind of maybe how you were brought up or what you were led to believe, because all of that is in your belief system, right? All of that stuff is keeping you stuck, okay? Lisa, it's easier to take care of others than yourself. Guilt of self-care sometimes. Yes, but this is all because we were raised wrong. Okay? That's it. We were all, think about this, right? Think about the trajectory of our generations. Okay? 1920s. You're not even allowed to have an opinion if you're a woman. Please. Right? 1950s. Well, now you can have some girlfriends over, but still make me dinner. Right? And then you're progressing. And now, right? And now we're living in 2018 almost. And if we don't fix this paradigm now, then how are you supposed to help your daughters and your sons? right? Because this isn't even necessarily just about women. I'm speaking to women right now because that's who's talking with me about this, and that's where a lot of the guilt comes from, because the evolution of man was different than the evolution of woman. It is what it is, right? Okay, so I'm going to go back through some of these questions, right? But I want you guys to really, really hear what I'm saying is, up until now, before we started having this talk, and I'm telling you, we are leaning in on this, and I am not giving up. I am carrying a torch, because I help people grow every day. And the biggest block, the deepest space, okay? I don't care what the reason you're coming to me for. When we go back and down and down and deep, it lies in one thing, which is your relationship to self, which is your belief in self, your esteem of yourself, your belief in your value, your belief in your worthiness, your belief in your good enoughness, your ability to set boundaries, prioritize, honor yourself, take the pressure off. It all lives in the same deep, dark space. And I'm going to shine some light on that space, because we can all access it and change our lives dramatically. And then change our children's lives, because that's how all of this works too. The reason why we are each who we are largely is because of the input and the embedding that goes on in our upbringing, and what we witness and what we see and what we start to model against based on who our parents are and our, religious leaders and our siblings and our teachers and all the other people around us that kind of mold us, right? And then you grow up and one day you're like, oh, okay, I'm a grown up and this is my identity. Now you get to completely shift out of whatever's not working for you and become who you want, so that when you get to your end of your life, you're like, yeah, I loved every second of what I could. And I had ebbs and flows and ups and downs, because inherently that's what life is. And I'm a human, right? But I loved myself, and everything I did came from a place of esteem in who I am. Because you're born with well-being, and you're born with deservancy and worthiness and purity. And then life happens to you and you're covered up in all this shit. And it's time to peel it all back and live from that origin of worthiness and love and enoughness. Okay? Okay. I'm super passionate about this. It makes me teary, because I'm telling you, this is the epidemic. This is the epidemic. Do you want to know why you run around thinking that stress and overwhelm is a way of life? Right? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. This is the epidemic. We have to heal ourselves from the inside. We have to manage our lives from the inside out. We have to make these changes. Okay. So let me go up and see what kind of comments we have here so that I can respond. All right. So Nikia, loving yourself is the secret of happiness. Amen. So true. So true. Okay. Oh, hold on. I take care of myself first, because, sorry guys, these things scroll faster than I can read. Why should everybody else be more important than ourselves? They don't need to be, right? They don't need to be. Lisa, I can teach my daughters to take care of themselves, but after I take care of them, my husband, my home, there's no energy for me. Yeah. And then what happens, Lisa? What happens next after that? I'll tell you what happens. You get pissed. You get passively resentful. You get to that space, you're like, what the fuck? Right? But here's the other thing, and I say this with love. Who's responsible for that? Who's making those choices? You are. When you love yourself and you come from a place of esteem, real esteem, value in yourself, not value dependent on who you care for, not value dependent on how much you do in the world, not value depending on your productivity, not value depending on how much you please people, okay? Just value because you got that. That was like the instant thing you got, right? And I will tell you something else, because I have daughters too. It's not what you say and what you teach, it's who you are and what you do that teaches them, right? So if you want them to grow up so that you can literally break this cycle right now, so that they go, no, you know what? Because I want to show up for you guys, I'm going to honor myself, right? So of course, by the time you're done serving everybody else under the sun but yourself, you're exhausted and have no energy. The idea is you have to be refueling yourself, right? It's like you're putting out energy, your business, your life, your kids, your husband, your wife, whatever's going on in your life, right? It's not like someone's walking behind you like with a with a gas hose continuously refueling you with energy, right? You have to do that. We have to figure out what that means for you. And for everyone, it's different, right? But it's finding space and finding time and quieting down and going within and doing less instead of more and changing the whole paradigm under which you live, which is based in I'm enough and I love myself. And when I love myself, this is how I show up in the world. And this is the power that I have because I'm not trying to prove anything. And I know that without me putting me first, as important, at the top, whatever you want to call it, if you don't do that, you will ultimately lead to complete exhaustion, resentment, frustration, and you'll constantly be looking for things outside of you to help you feel better. Okay, Lisa, let me know if any of this is making sense, if this is resonating with you. And guys, make sure you hit share. This is an important topic, okay? And for those of you just joining, hi, I'm Tracy. I'm a life coach and a speaker and founder of The Lit Factor. Like the Lit Factor page, you'll always catch the lives. And we're going to be doing some pretty incredible, revolutionary stuff. So you want in on this. All right, I have depression from the age of 8 and I'm 24. I never learned to take care of myself and love me first. I don't find happiness around me and in me. Okay, so thank you, okay? Because the vulnerability that you just shared shows me that you do love you and it's there. You're in there because you took you got the courage to speak right now to me in front of however many people are hanging out with us on this live, okay? So I want you to look at this right now first, right off the bat as evidence. You do love you. We need to find it, and I hear what you're saying. But the action you just took, because you wanted something out of this, shows that you have love for you. And that is just gorgeous. Okay? I'm getting emotional. Okay. All right. So what I'm hearing and what we need to do here for you, okay, is help you love you, right? That's the key. And the reason why we can't find happiness around you, right? You can't find happiness outside of yourself is because you're not experiencing the happiness inside of yourself. Okay? All right. So I want you to just pay attention here and know that, guys, I do private coaching and groups. This is what I do for a living. I own a company that helps people do this, right? So if you're sitting here going, oh my God, yes, message me and I'll tell you how we can work together. Okay? All right. So let's just keep hanging out for now. Okay? All right. So this is similar to your striving in life, right? Let's say you're listening right now and you are a highly ambitious woman, right? You are kick-ass. You are successful. You see a goal, boom, shoot it, down, kill it. Next goal, boom, shoot it, kill it. Next goal, boom, right? But then you're still like, why the fuck am I not happy? I've done everything in my life that I set out to do. Something's missing. Okay? What's missing is the going within. What's missing is that you are the validation. What's missing is that connection to self. What's missing is that relationship with yourself, right? It's the esteem and the belief and the honoring yourself and realizing the reason why so often we still feel like, why am I not happy? Is because everything we've gone for is external, right? And we think the more successful, externally successful we are, or the more productive we are, right? Then the better we're going to feel. But that's just not true. And if it was true, then people wouldn't be having these blocks and issues. I'm not making this up. I have plenty of clients that fall into this category. And then once they realize, oh my God, it's not about that at all. This is your one shot on this life. How do you want to feel? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? This is it. This is it. Right? Depending on what you believe in. If, yes, maybe you come back as something else, but that's another conversation. Okay? So let's go into some of the components that you can practice so that you can really start to love yourself. Okay? And I'm just scrolling up to see if there was anything. Sorry if I missed any comments. It's, like I said, it's kind of scrolling. I'm even trying to scroll and it's going faster than my fingers and brain can read it. All right. So let me just check one thing. There was an example here, and I'm trying to read it. Artemis, if you could retype the example, that would be awesome. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay, all right. I want to go to the hairdresser, but ours other things. Oh, my goodness, I want this so bad. Prioritize other things to spend money on than me. Okay, there you go. You want to go to the hairdresser, thank you so much, okay? You want to go to the hairdresser, but you prioritize other things other than you. First of all, kudos to you for realizing you're choosing, okay? Because that's the other thing. When you really love yourself and you live from this space, you're taking responsibility and you understand your life is based on your choices, okay? So what is it going to take for you to spend the money on yourself? What is it going to take? What are you getting out of putting everyone else first and then being able to say, oh, poor me, I didn't even get to go to get my hair done, right? Think about that, guys, because everything you do in life gives you something. So is it that when you get on the phone with your friends, you get to be like, oh yeah, I know what you mean. I didn't get to do that either because da-da-da-da-da-da, because the kid's schedule or because my husband travels or because my wife wasn't around or all of these excuses and justifications and rationalizations as to why you're not doing things for yourself? You deserve to do it for yourself. So Artemis, what I'd really like you to do is, whether it's your hair or something, go pick the thing you want to do for yourself and put yourself first. Here's the thing, guys. All it takes is the decision. You don't need permission. And if you do, I'm giving it to you right now. You don't need permission. You don't need someone outside of you to say it's okay. You need to give yourself the permission. And when you live in a place where you love yourself and you honor yourself, you are your own permission and you are your own validation. And I want you to think, how good are you going to feel when your hair is done? How good are you going to feel? Like, oh my God, I'm so beautiful. I love it. My hair is so soft, right? You feel good. Don't you deserve to feel good? Okay? And again, we got to go deep down because there's things and there's beliefs and there's reasons why we've all arrived in this place on different kind of levels of the love yourself, good enoughness, non-good enoughness spectrum. But all of this lives here. Yes, right, Artemis, good. So are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? Okay, good. Good. All right. Lisa, my happiest place is with my husband. He gives me so much love and pushes me to be me. That's awesome. That's amazing. Having a great partner in life is awesome. It's not everything because he doesn't complete you. See, because you're a complete person too, right? You're complete and he's complete, and then together you can be a force, right? And if he pushes you to be me, then I invite you, Lisa, to share with him. You know what I realized after I listened to Slash talk to me today on her TGIM? I realize that I'm doing a really poor job of putting myself before everything we have going on at home, right? So I want to start doing some stuff for me and bring him in. Transparency and communication is amazing. Okay, bring him into it. And if he's pushing you to be you, he's going to be like, hell yeah, babe, go do you. And then go do it. Okay, and Artemis, rock on. This weekend it will happen. Good. Message me after it happens or send me a picture of your hot looking self. Okay? Okay. Yay! All right. So, let me go into a few of the actual components of like what. So Tracy, that's great. Love yourself. What do you mean, right? You are a force. You are a force. That is another component too, guys, of loving yourself. For all my people out there that are struggling in relationships or want to find the love of your life and you're struggling to, okay? It's understanding you are not looking to be fixed. You are not looking to become whole. Okay? I love you too, Artemis. You are not looking for anything outside of you. Okay? You are already a whole being. You are a whole being. And whoever's in your life, right? Or you're in their life, you guys come together and you're that much better. Tom Cruise fucked us all up because nobody completes anybody. And when you love yourself, another thing you get to know when you have that esteem and you have that completeness. And then the beauty for my single people out there is when you love yourself, then you're not getting into toxic relationships that don't treat you right. Then you're attracting someone who loves themselves, who shows up the way you show up. So you can be two wholes together, right? Synchronicity. Awesome. Exactly. All right. Okay, good. Shafina, I want to do a tattoo, but I'm afraid that I'm too fat. Had somebody told you that? Because that's really just something you're making up in your head that you're believing is true. Like most things, right? Even for all of you who were talking to me before that you feel like this is selfish, right? It's okay because right now, everything that you experience in your life and all the thoughts you have and all your ways of being feel really true for you because this has been real for you your whole life. but none of it's actually true. It's all malleable, it's all changeable, it's all shiftable. It just feels so true and so real because that's who you've been all this time, okay? But it's all changeable. It's how you see the world. It's your thoughts or things. God, I can go on for hours. All right, so I'm going to pause here. Okay, Rachel, self-efficacy has been a tough journey for me. You hit a great point that we are our advocates, and it is important to choose happiness. I give to everyone, but I feel guilty about doing for me. Yes, we are so fixing this. We're starting a revolution, people. I'm not kidding. It's coming. Like, it's literally actually coming. There's going to be a huge private Facebook group community for this, and I am not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. It makes me sad and happy. I am not going to stop until every one of you understands and believes and knows that you are fucking good enough just because you're who you are. And you don't need the pressure. And you don't have to live a life of stress. And you can put yourself first. And you can become the person that you've always wanted to become and out-be all the labels and the limitations and all that stuff. Because this is your life. Like, what else is more important than this? And for those of you that are parents out there, if you don't find the motivation because of yourself, then look at your kids later when they come home from school. They will become who you are. They will become who you are. I don't care what you teach them. It doesn't matter. What you say is irrelevant. What you do and who you are and the energy you share is what affects them. Okay? So do it for you. Do it for everybody else. Exactly, April. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. So, Rachel, that guilt, right? And I thank you for joining and acknowledging this, right? You are your own advocate, right? And you give to everyone you feel guilty about doing for you. Just stop and do some self-inquiry here. What makes you feel guilty? Who modeled for you that doing for everybody else is the way to be? What's coming at you that is creating the way that you're feeling and the way that you're thinking? And again, when we start doing this work, guys, I teach you how to think, right? How to actually use this thing up here, which, by the way, this is an extra large hat because I have a massively huge head, so it took me like 3 hats to find. I'm just sharing this with you because, you know, it's important for you to know that I have an extra large head. It's really, really being able to understand how you arrived at who you are, right? And then what I want you to do is ask yourself, if I knew, if I believed that I was totally enough, and if I loved myself, how would I show up differently in my life? What would I do today that I wouldn't have done had I not watched Slash on live, right? For those of you just joining, check out how awesome these are too, right? This is so good. So good. Okay. All right. So I want you to really, really get in touch with that. Okay. Those of you just coming on too, I'm Tracy. I'm a coach. I'm a speaker, founder of the Lip Factor. We're talking today all about loving yourself, because at the bottom core of everything that I do and how thousands of people I have spoken to and private clients and people in groups and keynote speeches and talking to people and everything about everything, the epidemic here is that it is we aren't cultivating phenomenal relationships with ourselves. We are spending way too much time and energy in everything but ourselves. We need to go in, we need to go within, we need to slow it down, get silent, connect to our intuition, and embrace our good enoughness and love ourselves hard. Right? The same way that you love and do and put first and care about and have compassion towards and all these things, right? But there's some huge guilt thing that goes on and some huge resistance around actually holding yourself up as the amazing, worthy human that you are. Okay? So this is going to be my mission in life. You're all here watching it get birthed. I will not rest until it has touched everyone that I possibly can. Okay? Rhonda, I believe that there has to be balance of giving and putting me first. Okay, balance is great. What does balance mean to you? That's interesting too. That's all right. That's all great, right? Balance, as long as it's not in the compromise of yourself. Because listen to me, I'm here speaking about self-love, and I love myself, and I'm pretty untouchable for the most part, okay? And I really choose what aligns to how I want to feel, and the people in my life see that and they experience that, okay? But by no stretch does it mean that I am not there. right? If anything, my love for myself and my honoring my boundaries actually allows me to show up. It allows me to be there in the middle of the night for hysterical phone calls. It allows me to show up happy and glorious and chipper and helpful for parties. It allows me to make time. It allows me to have the sustainable energy to do extra things. So in actual fact, right, putting yourself first and doing the stuff for you and nurturing and love yourself and boundaries and all the stuff that we're going to go through as we do all this stuff is ironically a gift to everybody else, right? Everyone's coming at me right now. So well, what about this? And what about that? And is it selfish? No, it's not selfish. And it actually allows you and enables you to show up bigger and better and harder and more sincerely with more energy for everything and everyone else in your life. This is the way that everybody wins. If not, the way that you're currently doing it, everybody else wins, and you're resentful, you have no energy, and you feel like, oh God, what else is there in life? The what else is there in life, guys, is your relationship to yourself. That's it. That's it. Okay? All right. Andy, what are you watching? You're watching Slash, aka Tracy Litt, life coach and speaker, but you know, it's Halloween week, and I love to have a good time. So you're watching Slash talk all about loving yourself. Okay, that's what we're doing. Lisa, how do you love yourself? Give ideas without beating ourselves up. Okay, cool. So let me check our time. Good, it's 12:40. So here's what we're going to do because we have about 20 more minutes. And I have so many things. Oh my God, I have so many things to give you guys. So let's talk about a few components of what loving yourself is so you guys could actually leave this session with some tactical, some action. Okay, some action. It's not selfish because it's not about stuff, people. It's internal. Yes, Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to talk about, let's focus on two parts of really loving yourself and how you can start doing this work. The first part is your self-talk, okay? There's many components under loving yourself and how to, okay? Actually, no. The first thing that I'm going to invite you all to do is start to open your mind to believing and realizing that inherently when you were born enough. You were actually born pure love. You were born with wholeness of your well-being. Okay? So it's almost about stripping back the shit so that you can get back to that space and honor it. So that's the first thing. I just want you to kind of open awareness to, wow, it's not about what I do. It really just is about I'm human, right? And I was born in this gorgeousness and this pureness and this love and this enoughness. Okay? Because that's an actual fact. That's not Tracy's philosophy on life. That is a fact. And any mental health caregiver, personal development guru, self-development writer, anyone that is in the space of humanity is going to confirm that truth. Okay? Okay, great. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want you to do is start being mindful of your self-talk. Okay? Start being mindful of your self-talk. What is self-talk? Self-talk is the way you speak to yourself, out loud or in your head, right? And you either have empowering self-talk or disempowering self-talk. So how many times are you like, oh, I'm such an idiot. No, I can't do that. Oh my God, success is for her and not for me. Right? All of the doubt, all the self-doubt stuff that comes up, that's your disempowering self-talk. We can call that your inner critic, okay? Then the other type of self-talk that you can choose is what I call your inner coach, right? That's your empowering self-talk. That's your, no, I'm not going to accept that negative comment because that doesn't serve me. And that doesn't make me feel the way I want to feel. And that doesn't help empower me to take the action I want to take in my life, right? Or make the decisions I want to make. So when that little voice says to you, for example, when you go to do something for yourself, are you sure you want to do that? Or are you going to feel guilty? Or shouldn't you be doing something for somebody else? That voice is not helping you and you're listening to the wrong voice. That's when you need to stop and shift. And again, you get to learn this when we do this work together, okay? You realize you are in personal responsibility to make choices. You are the creator, the painter, the director of your mind and your life. And when something doesn't make you feel good, you are not obligated to attach to it. You can simply go, yeah, no, thanks. And then you get to pick the thing that goes, you know what? I deserve this. I'm enough of a reason. I'm going to get my hair done. See y'all later. Are you with me? Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to grow awareness on how you're speaking to yourself. Okay. What's going on in your head, right? It's like some people look at it as like the devil on the shoulder, the angel on the shoulder, however it resonates the most with you, but everyone has self-talk. Okay, there isn't a person that doesn't. Everyone has self-talk, and this is about you being able to grow your awareness to even realize, wait, let me get conscious. Let me wake up here. Let me wake up. Because sometimes you're so conditioned by yourself, from yourself, that you don't even realize that you're listening to this little voice that's so disempowering that makes you feel like such shit. Right? Well, we've got to get rid of that so that you can break through, right? And start to love yourself. Okay? Okay, so self-talk is the first the first thing is opening yourself up to your inherent birthright of your connection to yourself and your worthiness and your yumminess. Okay? Like, that's the thing you don't have to do anything for. You just get that. You woke up today, yay, got it. The second thing you're going to grow your awareness on is your self-talk, and really pay attention. And when that any time you don't feel good, or any time you want to put yourself first, you want to prioritize yourself, right? If you don't have empowering self-talk, then the disempowering self-talk is going to become a block, and then you're not going to do it. And then guess what happens after that? Guilt comes. Okay? Because guilt is then your way of punishing yourself for not doing it. So if you said to yourself, I'm going to work out today, and then all of a sudden the little shitty self-talk says to you, oh, but you have to go pick up this one from dance and that one from volleyball. And then, your husband's gonna be home. He's got to do this. And then, your friend needed to talk to you. And then all of a sudden, you probably just don't do that. It's fine. You can go work out tomorrow, right? Then what happens later on in the day? Then you feel bad because you didn't work out because you didn't honor yourself. But if you did honor yourself, you would have been able to show up for all those things. And you know what? If your child had to wait for you a little bit longer, or you had to ask your friend to talk an hour later, or your husband had to make his own dinner, or whatever your life circumstance is, great. Okay? Okay. So before I go into the last component that you guys are going to play with, I want to just acknowledge some messages that came in. We are all created to be outstanding. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Are you ready? Are you ready? How many of you, I wish you guys could raise your hands right now. How many of you are afraid of how awesome you can be? That's another big block that comes up a lot of times for people. It's like, oh my God, I can actually be that good. But what's going to happen in my life if I succeed, right? What's going to happen in my life if I am actually as unbelievably outstanding as I am capable of being? Right? Just interesting things to ponder. All right. Andy, I choose to love Christ first and foremost, as I am loved by the Savior of the world, and therefore I am loved. We were born separated from Christ. Okay. Yeah, listen, Andy, whatever works for you. That's awesome. Go you, right? This is to each. My messaging is about what serves you. And as I said before, we all get to choose. And we all get to live our lives in what feels best for us. Okay? So, yes, rock on. Whatever feels good to you is fantastic. Okay? Good. Meredith, I love the time in my life when I finally learned to say no. I want to hear about that. I wish we were talking and hanging out right now. How amazing is that? And let me tell you something else. Okay? And I believe my sister is watching right now, and she's probably laughing because this is something that I started doing years ago. Saying no when you don't want to do something is the best thing in the whole wide world. Okay? And coming from a place when you love yourself, and again, this is all about the topic of this conversation is your esteem, right? How you feel about you, right? Not thinking, oh my God, if they say no, then what are they going to think about me? Or if I say no, then am I going to miss out on the next thing? Or if I say no, is somebody else going to think this, or am I not pleasing them or doing what they do? If I say no, right? When you get to this space that I'm talking about, when you love yourself, just period, end of story, love, honor, believe in yourself, then you instantly are able to set what I call healthy boundaries, right? You're able to gracefully, lovingly, and honestly say, I love you, but no, right? Thank you for inviting me. Right now for me, laying on my couch in my pajamas is really what I need. So no, but I will be at the next party and I cannot wait to hear everything about it and see all the pictures, right? Or No, I will not drop you off at school later because I have a gym class I want to go to. This is actually a real thing that happened with me and my kids. I have 3 daughters, by the way, okay? And there was a time where I wanted to, because I'm committed to my health, I want to go to the gym, but then I have to wait outside of school if you drop me early. Yes, you do. And I love you, but no, I'm not going to not do for myself so that you don't have to sit outside and wait. Okay? These are all these little decisions, right? But ultimately, when you love yourself and you have this solid esteem, this is the world you can operate from. And then you gain and everyone else around you gains because then you are filled up. You are peaceful. You're not having inner struggles. You're not questioning yourself. You're not insecure. You're just like, yeah, I got this. Okay? Lisa, you have given me such a great way to think of myself. Oh, I will work on my needs first. Lisa, yes! This is exactly why I do this work. I'm so excited. Please make sure you like the page so we can keep connected, okay? Because there's going to be opportunity to really work together and be together. So that just, I'm so glad. If I can help you think differently and I can help you connect to yourself, my mission in life is being achieved. So thank you. Yay! All right, so I'm going to give you guys the beginnings of one of the most important components of loving yourself, okay? And I'm going to touch on it briefly for the sake of time. We have 10 minutes, but they're going to be a rockin' 10 minutes, and I'm going to show up hard for you. Okay? Here we go. Show up hard for you. Here we go. Self-compassion. Self-compassion. Okay. So, you know how when you love someone or your best friend goes through something, you're easily able, this is just hard for me to see you, or to see myself. You're easily able to show up softly. You're easily able to say, what do you need? No, this is not your fault. I love you. How can I be there? Can I hold you through the night? Can I get you a tissue? Can I tell you that this is not going to define you? Right? Right? How true is that? Anyone in your life you care about, from a kid to a partner, to a friend, to a family member, right? Even to a stranger on the street. You are all good and compassionate. And then as soon as something happens for yourself, you are so self-critical and you go off on yourself. Unacceptable. And it is not going to be tolerated in this space of loving yourself and in this revolution that we are creating. We're just not doing that. Because, right? Because when we love yourself, you get to decide too, right? So we have to develop a new habit. And that's what a lot of this stuff is too. Okay? It's a new habit. And it's a habit of self-compassion. I'm going to read you a quote that really hit home for me. A moment of self-compassion can change your entire day. A string of such moments can change the course of your life. Right? It like makes me cry. Okay? Okay. So, a moment of self-compassion can change your entire day. A string of such moments can change the course of your life. Okay? So, self-compassion has 3 main components that I'm going to introduce you to, and then we'll continue to talk about them. Okay? Hold on, I'm going to pause. Rachel said, I stayed home from work today. I'm a teacher. I felt like I needed a day for mental health. My kids are high needs and can be draining. I guess I was supposed to hear this. Rachel, you were. The universe brought us together. Yay! I'm so grateful. Okay? And it totally makes sense that you have circumstances in life that are draining. And I hear what you're saying, okay? Which is even more the reason why caring for your well-being and your mental health and the love of yourself is bar none where we need to hang out and spend some time, right? And super proud of you. The action you took and the decision you made to put yourself first because you realized you needed a day for mental health, which, side note, I have to say, I love you a little extra because my mother, may she rest in peace, the incredible woman she was, always taught my sisters and I, if you need a mental health day, right, you just need that day. Not because you're sick or you need to fake the strep throat or something's going on, but just because you know you're funked or you're drained and you need a mental health day, you take it. So the fact that you took the mental health day, Rachel, is a huge piece of evidence that you love yourself and that you know that, okay, you know what? I'm going to take one day so I don't end up totally exhausted and needing 8 days, right? So I'm proud of you. Yay, you. Okay? And yes, you were supposed to hear this, so here we go. All right? So the 3 components of self-compassion. The first component is kindness. Okay? Just kindness. Kindness instead of judging yourself. All right? And again, I'm I'm introducing this. You're not going to nail this. This is me just what I call cracking the window. You're going to feel the breeze and you're going to be like, oh shit, I want to go outside because that's where I need to be. Okay? All right. So kindness kindness versus judgment. Kindness is self-kindness. It's saying to yourself when something goes on, let's say you overreacted, right? Or you didn't make it to do something, right? Then you get to stop and say, wait a second, how am I feeling right now? What do I need right now? How can I be kind to myself? Okay, that's component number 1 of self-compassion. And again, I'm not going deep because I want you guys to just get this. Okay? Self-compassion 101 begins with kindness. Self-kindness versus self-judgment. Self-judgment is, I can't believe you, why'd you do this? And you go off on yourself and you're such an idiot and what's wrong with you? Okay? Which you would never do to another person, but you're all belling up to the bar to do it for yourself. Okay? Okay. So self-kindness, what do I need right now? How am I feeling right now? What do I need? What do I need? Okay? Element 2, common humanity versus isolation. What does that mean? More often than not, when we are experiencing something, when we have a moment in time where we really need compassion, when we are not living in self-compassion and instead we're living and coming from self-judgment, it creates a lot of isolation because you start to have that feeling of, I'm the only one, why am I the one that goes through this, why me? And you start allowing your mind to go down this road of feeling like you're the only person in the entire planet who ever feels this way. And then you feel all isolated, and by virtue of thinking that way and feeling that way and creating isolation, it perpetuates that negative feeling and it makes you feel lower and worse. The self-compassion antidote, the answer, the second element, is common humanity. It's simply realizing in that moment, let's just say it's a maternal moment or it's a professional business person moment. Yes, I'm feeling this way. I know I need to go take a walk outside and love myself a little bit right now. And you know what? I'm not the only person in the world who's ever gone through this, right? There's that common humanity means you're not the only one. There's a normalcy to what you're going through. And how much better does that feel when you get to look over and just be like, oh, her too? Whew. Just look at this live session with all of you guys chiming in, right? The first person who admitted feeling guilty, and then the 7th person, it's like, whoo, yay. At least we're all together, right? And it creates a normalcy, and it kind of takes the charge off of what you were feeling. And instead of feeling alone, you feel like you belong to something, okay? Which helps your ability to be compassionate towards yourself. The final element is being mindful versus being totally unaware. So what do I mean by mindful? If it's a moment where you went off on your kids before you know it, oh, I'm such a bad mother, I can't believe I did that, this is so horrible. And when you're unaware, you end up in this story and you end up like feeling really, really bad for a really, really long time because you're not just being mindful of just the way your body's feeling and the way you're reacting, so that you can make sure that you call on the other components of self-compassion so you can give yourself some love. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me? Give me something. Okay? This is really important, and I know it's one of the biggest humps in the world of really building that phenomenal relationship with yourself, right? So what I want to invite you to do, so the 3 components are kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness, right? And by the way, this particular self-compassion work I learned in a class that I took that was life-changing by Kristin Neff, who is one of the top self-compassion researchers, okay? So this is real juicy stuff, okay? So what I want you to do is this. The next time, which could be like in a minute, an hour, or in a week, something goes down in your life, and you now have listened to me, and you're starting to make changes because your awareness is key in doing so, you are going to choose self-compassion. So that moment where you're like, God, I'm so stupid, you're going, no. Self-compassion. And what I want you to instantly do is just ask yourself, how would I show up for, and insert the name of the person you love the most? How would I show up for my child? How would I show up for my spouse? How would I show up for my best friend? How would I show up for my sister? And then just turn it around on yourself. How would you show up? What would you say? What kind of tone would you use? What kind of stance? What kind of physical stance would you have? What kind of love and support would you offer them? What kind of tolerance would you come to the table with, right? And then do it for yourself. And then you start to feel that. And then there's nothing better. And then you've soothed yourself and you've loved yourself and you've shown yourself compassion. It's glorious. It's glorious. And it beats the hell out of self-judgment and self-criticism and shaming yourself. because nothing good comes from that ever. Okay? Okay. So, this has been such an amazingly fun hour. I am so grateful for every one of you for showing up. Like the Lit Factor page, it's factor.com. Message me if you have questions. Challenge me if you're not understanding anything that's going on here. But if there's anything going on in your life, if there's any area of your life that is not bringing you what you want, joy and fulfillment and peace and success, however is defined by you, I simply want you to know you have the power to change it. And I want you to know that it lies in your esteem and your enoughness and your love for yourself. Once you nail that, everything else just happens. Okay? It's easier to access. All right? Awesome. Yay, Ryan. I'm so glad. Thumbs up to you, Thomas. April, when I'm not nice to myself, when I overreact with my son, then I feel worse and end up having a bad day all day. When I choose to be kind to myself, I move on and have a wonderful day. Exactly. And then what you're doing is you're living in personal radical responsibility. You're living by the choices you make to align up into how you want to feel. And guys, that's the whole point of this. As humans, we want to feel good. We want to feel happy, right? Whatever those feelings are for you. And that's all the power you have in the world can always align you to exactly how you want to feel. All right, so thank you for that feedback, guys. Amazing. Treat yourselves well. Share this out to anybody who needs it, which is every single person on the planet. And be watching out for a very, very, very big thing that's coming. Mwah. Bye.